Want to know how to easily turn any Divi module into a slider or carousel? While Divi is an excellent page builder, unfortunately it doesn't cater for every functionality needed to build a website. So in this Divi tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can build your own sliders or carousel without needing to buy or install any plugins. I'll also give you the code to copy and show you where to paste it. It couldn't be simpler. Hey guys, welcome to the second video in this tutorial series where we are building out sliders and carousels using Swiper.js. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch this tutorial. It really does mean a lot to me, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you didn't watch the first video, I'll leave a link to the playlist so you can just click on that and watch the first video where we built a full width slider using the image module. Then if you're looking for any other type of Divi tutorials, please check this playlist that will also pop up about now in the corner, and you can click on that playlist and there'll be a bunch of video tutorials where I use Divi and build out some functionality that doesn't come standard with Divi. So with that intro out the way, let's get into the video. If you haven't watched the first video where I went into a bit more detail with Swiper.js and the plugins you need and things like that, watch that first video. I'll link it up now. It should pop up now on the left or right hand side in the top corner there. Just click on that and watch that video first so you know what I was doing with the code and also what plugin I use for the code, because I think I'm going to go a bit faster in these videos and I'm not going to really go through the plugins and the setup and all that, because I did that in that first video. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to come over here and just hover over this plugin we installed, and I'm just going to go to all snippets, and I want to open this Swiper.js with the JavaScript snippets. And this is the code we put in previously. So I'm going to add more code in here. Like I said, that's why I put my own custom classes in here, because I'm going to use a few sliders on the same page. And today we're going to create a slider carousel with blurb modules. So let's get to the front end here, and here's the one we created yesterday. You can see when I refreshed the visual builder, it's now a bit broken, but you'll see it's all how it should look. So let us add a new section. I'm just going to choose a regular section, and what I'm going to do, I'm actually not going to do anything in it. I'm going to give this maybe a different background so we can differentiate between the sections. So we'll give this like a light gray, like that. Okay, perfect. We can save that. And I'm just going to maybe duplicate this heading just for efficiency, and just change this title, and we'll call this something like blurb section. Okay, but that's got nothing to do with what we're doing. I'm just naming these sections so you can see the different sections. Let's add another row, and we want to choose a 3-column row. So this is a bit different to how we did it yesterday, but hopefully you'll see what I'm doing with this variation. In the first column, we want a code module. And let's just head over to the Swiper.js website again. And we want the slides per view. So you can click on that. I'll take you to this. This is where you get like these. So this shows 3 slides in the viewport, or in this view, in the container. So we're going to build one like this now. So again, like we did with the other tutorial, we'll click on core. So guys, sorry, I just want to cut in here again. If you're not following what's happening here, why I'm here and that, go watch the other video. It will be the first one in the playlist. I will link the playlist as well at the bottom so that it's there and you guys can go through. It's better that you start from the beginning so you know what I'm going to do with the code that I'm getting from Swiper.js. So I just want to put that out there before I carry on. Okay, so what we want to do now, this carousel does not have the, what do you call it, the navigation, the arrows. So if we go to my code pen, and again, I'll link this to this one as well in the description. And for those of you who didn't watch the first video, here is where you get the links for the to load the scripts. But we don't need that because we loaded it in the first video. So I'm going to minimize that. And I'm going to minimize the CSS because there's no code in there. And then we've just got the JavaScript here. So you'll see in this one, I have added navigation. So you'll see in the JavaScript, there's the navigation. So we need to get the classes I created. So again, these are my own classes I created. It's not done by Swiper.js, but this is what's nice about Swiper.js. You can put in your own arrows, your own pagination. You don't have to put it in, or you can. Yeah, in all these tutorials, I put in both. So that's what's nice about it. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. What we want to do, we want to, if you remember in the first video, we put in a div here. I'm just going to go into the wireframe mode and just come up to this first tutorial we did. And you remember we put these classes in here for the swiper button next. So you can just copy that. And I'm going to go back to the front end. Let's come back here and to our code module. Let's click in there. And let's paste that code in there. But for this one, I want to use, this is going to be the previous arrow because this is obviously on the left of the screen. So you'll see a change there. And if we go to the code pen, we can just also take, where it says prevel, you want to take that code. So just not the dot, just the text. The blurb carousel button previous, let's copy that. And let's also paste it in here. So we're going to replace this one that says image slider button next. We're going to replace that one. And then we can just copy this code. Let's save that. Let's duplicate this. And let's drag this to the last column now, into the third column. Let's go into that setting. And let's just change the previous to next. And over here, let's change that to next as well. So you'll see the arrows are now there. So we can save that. So that's our arrows done. Then in the middle column here, this is where we're going to add our blurb modules. So let's click add a new module or insert a module, and let's search for blurb. You can select the blurb. And then guys, you can style this any way you want. So I'm just going to put in the title of blurb 1. I'm just going to leave this placeholder content, and it's got an image icon. I'm just going to choose any icon here. Let's choose this. Wait, maybe let's choose this way. And maybe we can also give it a background so it just stands out against the gray background of white. Let's go to design. And I'm just doing this quickly because this video series isn't about using Divi to style your modules in that. If you want to learn how to do that, I've got other videos where I do full website builds that you guys can go into, and there I actually go into more detail of how to use this. So what did I want to do? I wanted to give it some padding and left and right. So it looks like that, and maybe we can give it some border radius. Should we give it some box shadow? Maybe like that. I don't like it when it's so harsh. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Let's just put a 0 there. Okay, so that's there. There's our first blurb. Let's maybe just give this title, make it stand out a bit more. Let's make it uppercase. Let's make it a bit bigger. Maybe should we center it? I know I said I wasn't going to style too much here, but let's just do that. I think that's fine. Okay, so that's our first blurb module. Now, if we come over to the Swiper website, if you remember from our previous tutorial, all our images got the class of Swiper slide. So we're going to actually use this in our blurb modules now. So let's copy that. Let's go back to the Visual Builder and let's come to Advanced, CSS ID and classes. And in the CSS class, let's place that swiper slide. And we'll get to these now where we have to put the swiper wrapper and the swiper class. Now that we've done that, we can save that. And for the blurbs, how many should I do? Should we do 8? Because we did 7 of the images. Let's do 8 of the blurbs. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now I'm going to quickly run through this. I'm just going to change the blurb title so you can see it's not the same blurb. I'm just going to change this like to 2, 3, and I'll be with you now. Okay, so I've done the last blurb, so you'll see it's blurb 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is, you'll see on this one, it has the pagination at the bottom here. So let's add that, and that we can copy here. So we can copy this line of code here, the opening div with the class swiper pagination and the closing div. Let's copy that. Let's go back to the visual builder, and let's come right to the bottom here and add a new row. And in this row, we're going to put a code module. And in the code module, we can just paste that code there. And if we go to the code pen, you'll see for the pagination over here, I have used the class of blurb carousel pagination. So let's copy that. Not the dot, just the text. And after the swiper class, let's just add in our class. Just put a space in between the swiper class and the blurb class. And then we can save that. And let's just go back to the swiper website. What's happening here? Okay. Now we need to put a class, the swiper wrapper class, as well as the swiper class. So let's take the swiper wrapper class and copy that. Oh, what's happening? Why is it doing that? I didn't have to sign in before. But anyway, I remember swiper wrapper. So let's go here. And where do you think we're going to put the class of swiper wrapper? So just in case you want to use the other swiper demos, remember your swiper wrapper class must go around your swiper sliders. So our swiper sliders are the blurb modules. And the parent of all these blurb modules is our column in that row. So if we go to the row, we go to the second column, that is what holds all our blurb content. So all these blurbs, blurb 1, blurb 2, blurb 3, up to blurb 8, is all in the second row. And that's where our swiper wrapper class must go. So we click on CSS ID and classes. Under CSS class, we can put swiper wrapper. And you can see something's already happened there. And then we can click on the back button here. And then for our row, we need to add the last, which is the swiper. And remember, my swiper is, you can put your own class there. The only must-have class is swiper. So we go back there. We can go to the advanced tab of the row settings, click on CSS ID and classes, and in class we can put in swiper. And you can see something has happened there. And we also need to put in another class, which is our own class. And the class we call this, sorry, not class, ID. It's got the hashtag, so it's an ID. So let's copy that and let us paste this into the ID section over there. Okay. Then what we need to do is go back to the code pen, and we need to copy all this code. Then let's go to our dashboard, and where we've got our code snippet here. Before the closing script tag, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put some comments here. So this comment, I will say some, what was this? This was the image slider. And then I'll put another comment here. And this is the blurb carousel. And then under there we can paste our code. So there we go. So we look at this code. It works a bit differently to the other video where we did the full width image slider, in that we want to put 3 blurb modules in the container at a time. But to make it mobile responsive in that, I found it better to actually start with a mobile view and work our way to the desktop view. So you'll see where I've got slides per view, it says 1. I think I must actually save this first and then go to the front end. And let's reload this page. I think I need to save this as well. And then let's refresh the page. And there we go. It's not looking great at the moment, but it's working. But as I said, we need to basically work from the phone view first. And that's why over here, I've got slides per view 1. Because in mobile view, we only want to see one blurb module. If we have 3 in there, it would look very ugly and it would go off the screen. So I'm going to, I think the first thing I do, let's fix these arrows. So the reason they're at the top there is because, as in per the last video, they need to be put absolute. So let's go into the row settings. When it gets like this, it's a bit wonky. So I'm going to actually use the layer thing over here. I'm going to go in there, and which rows? It will be this row. And it will be this column here. So I'm going to go into that. I'm going to click on the advanced tab. I'm going to go to position. And remember the last one we made it absolute, where the arrows were. And I want it in the center like that. And then let's do it to the last column as well. Advanced. Let's go to position. Let's make it absolute. And we want it on the right hand side in the middle. So if we save that. And we refresh the page. There we go. There it's in the middle. So you see it's working nicely on desktop. But, and this is also working, as you can see. So again, if you want these arrows outside of the container, we can use the horizontal offset. So maybe if we set it to 100 pixels. I don't know which one I set, but we'll see now. And let's refresh. Okay, that's gone in. Let's try negative. And save. So this is for the right hand navigation, or right hand side navigation. Oh, I see what's happening. The row ends there, so the arrows are splitting. So we can't actually do that on this one. But we will work our way around it. If you want these arrows on the outside, like it is over here, then instead of using columns, like we did here, we used the 3 columns, you'd use exactly how we did it as with the image slider. You'd use a row. So you'd use 3 rows, 1 row for the one arrow, then another row for the blurbs, and another row for the other arrow. So exactly as we did with the image, you would do with this. And anyway, let's just quickly go in. Let's now inspect. And I want to go onto a phone. So you'll see that that works. Then the space between of 15 is the gap. I don't know if you see, if I go, there's a gap there. Let me just, I can do that. That gap there with the gray part is 15 pixels. If I click on a blurb here and inspect it, you'll see there's a margin of 15 pixels on the right there. And that is what that space between is. In pagination, this is the same as the yesterday's video, is this at the bottom here. So you can page through the blurbs. And then the navigation is our arrows. Again, guys, if you want to remove these on phone, I showed you in the other video or the previous video how to do that. So you can just do that if you don't want the arrows on phone. And then the loop. So in this one, this wasn't in the previous video, but loop equals true means that we will loop through this. So you'll see I'm at blurb 1. I can go back and it goes to blurb 8, and I can go loop right through it. So it's like never ending. It just keeps going. So that's how you put in a loop. And then these are breakpoints. Now we've set it up for mobile. That's why it's 1 there. Then when we get to a size of 600 pixels or more, we set the slides per view to 2 and a space between of 30. So if I come here and we go to tablet, because a tablet will be about 768 pixels. There we go. Oh wait, let's go to this one. It looks like a tablet. So there, it's 768 pixels wide. You'll see it's 2. And it still works. It still slides nicely. So that shows 2. And then for screen sizes of 981 or bigger, which is your desktop, we put the slides per view to 3 and a space between of 50. So if I go to desktop, you'll see there's now 3 slides and that gap there is 50 pixels. So you can change those how you want them. So that is it. That is it for the carousel, for the blurbs that are in a carousel where you have 3 per view. And I hope you've enjoyed that. This was a much quicker video than yesterday. And I hope I'm not going too quickly. But if you guys do have questions and that, you know what to do. You can drop a comment and I will help you out. Guys, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. And then be sure to look out for tomorrow's video where we're going to use the Divi blog module to also create a carousel slider. If I didn't explain something correctly or maybe you stuck somewhere, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Otherwise, send me an email to my email address. You'll find the link in the description and I will help you out. Then if you need a website built and you don't have the time or you feel you don't have the experience or expertise to build that website, please check the link in the description. My website link is there. You can click on there and you can book a free call with me and we can discuss your project and see if I'm a right fit for you. And then lastly, if I could please ask you to leave a like for this video if you did enjoy it. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It will really help out my channel. So thank you if you do subscribe. And then if you are looking for other tutorials using Divi, please check out this playlist that should pop up in the corner about now. Then there'll be quite a few tutorials that you can go through there. Otherwise, that's it for this video. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one and cheers for now.